Hi students, this is Markandaya. I am a maths teacher. I have been teaching maths for 6th to 10th classes for the past 16 years. I taught for state boards as well as CBSE. So in this channel, initially I will be teaching only for 10th class state boards, and definitely I will cover entire syllabus of 10th class. Later on, I will be expanding the channel to other classes also. So, start sharing and subscribe the channel for getting new classes every day. And don't forget to follow on the Instagram page to be updated. For more details on this, check description. In this video, I am going to teach the most important chapter, trigonometry. So, trigonometry is derived from Greek words like trio, gonia, metron. Trio means three, gonia means angle, metron means measurement. Okay, that is, in a triangle we know that there are three sides and three angles. That is the number of components of a triangle or six, three sides and three angles. Okay, the analytical study of three sides and angles of a triangle with the help of a right triangle is called trigonometry. That is, trigonometry is nothing but it is a branch of mathematics which deals about the relation between the sides and angles of a triangle. So here we are taking the help of right triangles. Okay, and before that, angle means, what is meant by angle? Angle is the union of two different rays having the same initial point. So that is, if you take ray OA, ray OB, so OA is a fixed ray, OB is a terminal ray. Okay, now the ray OB makes an angle with ray OA in positive direction. Positive direction means the angle, the magnitude of angle always increases when the terminal side moves in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. That is the union of two different rays having the same initial point. Where O is called initial point, OA is called arm, OB is also called arm. Okay, the union of two different rays having the same initial point is called angle. And we know very well the types of angles. Just we go through it. So zero angle, acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, reflex angle, and complete angle. Complete angle. So now zero angle, we discuss about the zero angle. Okay, draw a ray OA and If you take one more ray which is lies on OB, that is the other ray does not make any rotation. That is OA and OB are two different rays. OA is a fixed ray, OB is a terminal ray side. But the terminal side is not moving in anti-clockwise direction and it overlaps with OA, then angle made by ray OA and ray OB is 0 degrees. Here angle made by ray OB with OA is an acute angle. Acute angle. So an angle whose measure is greater than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees is called an acute angle. So for example, 45 degrees is an acute angle, 89 degrees is an acute angle, 89.5 also acute angle. So right angle. When the terminal side makes with fixed ray exactly 90 degrees, then it is called angle AOB is equal 90 degrees is a right angle. Right angle. Obtuse angle. Obtuse angle means this is ray OB, this is ray OA. Now the terminal side is OB ray which moves in anti-clockwise direction such that angle made by ray OB with OA ray is an obtuse angle. That is, an angle whose measure is greater than 90 and less than 180 degrees is called an obtuse angle. For example, 100 degrees is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. So that is 100 degrees means obtuse angle, straight angle. So when ray OA and ray OB are two vertically opposite rays, then AB forms a line, then angle at O is a straight angle. Straight angle. That is, x is equal to exactly 180 degrees. Here x is equal to exactly 90. Then reflex angle. This is OA and this is OB. Now OB is terminal side. It rotates in anti-clockwise direction. Then angle made by OB ray with OA is equal to reflex. Reflex means where x lies between greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. Less than 360 degrees. Now complete angle here. OA is a ray and OB is also another ray. Okay. Now let us assume that OA is a fixed ray and OB is a terminal ray. So OB is rotated like this. After complete rotation, we get angle AOB is equal to 360 degrees. It is a complete angle. So I think this diagram is not visible for you. I think I will draw once again. You see here. This is ray OA and OB also here. But OB is a terminal side which makes a complete revolution with ray OA Hence the angle at O is 360 degrees. All these things everybody knows. Just for revision I explained. And this trigonometry is most useful in engineering, navigation and astronomy. Okay, so in trigonometry there are mainly 6 ratios like sine theta, sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, cosecant, secant. So there are 6 trigonometric ratios. Those ratios we can define with the help of right triangle. Okay. Now let me explain the definitions of 6 trigonometric ratios. See here, sine. So usually in algebra also we are using letter symbols to represent the unknown quantities. Like this, here alpha, beta, gamma, theta, or these are Greek alphabets. In alphabets A to Z, we can use any letter to represent unknown quantities. Okay. Similarly, in trigonometry, to represent the magnitude of angle, alpha, beta, gamma, theta are using. Okay. Instead of alpha, beta, gamma, theta, you can also use x, comma, y, comma, z also. Okay, no need to worry. So here we choose an theta. Theta is represents the magnitude of angle. Sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, theta. Here sine theta we can write as simply sine, like this. Cosine can be written as cos. Tangent can be written as tan theta. Cotangent can be written as cot theta. Secant then can be written as sec theta. We can read it as sec theta or secant theta. This is cosecant theta, but we have to write cosec theta like this. Secant theta and cosec theta. These 6 trigonometric ratios we are going to define with the help of a right angle. So before that, so in a Cartesian plane, draw a horizontal line and a vertical line. This is a Cartesian plane in which we have drawn horizontal line and a vertical line. So now these two make a point. Let it be this point O, and O as a center, and draw a circle. Draw a circle. Now let mark a point on the circumference of a circle A. If you join O to A, what will happen? OA becomes a radius of a circle, because radius is well defined as the distance between a fixed point to any point on the circumference of a circle. That is, OA is the radius of a circle. And draw the perpendicular projection from A to x-axis. This is x and this is y-axis. Okay, let it be B. Now the angle made by AB with x-axis is 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Now here OB, if you consider OB is a fixed ray and OA is a terminal side, then angle made by ray OA with OB is theta. Then the side which is opposite to theta is called opposite side. Opposite side. And the side which is opposite to Right angle is known as hypotenuse. Here radius is nothing but hypotenuse. Radius is nothing but hypotenuse. Here OB is the adjacent side. OB is the adjacent side. Okay. Now sin theta is defined as the ratio between opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side by hypotenuse. So opposite side by hypotenuse means opposite side here vertical distance, that is y. Vertical length is y, horizontal length is x. Okay, that is opposite side is what? Y by x, y by r, hypotenuse. Next, cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is adjacent side by hypotenuse is equal to x by r. And tan theta is defined as the ratio between opposite side and adjacent side, that is opposite side by adjacent side, that is opposite side is here y by adjacent side is x. And cot theta is defined as the ratio between adjacent side by opposite side, that is x by y. And secant theta is defined as the ratio between hypotenuse and adjacent side, that is from the diagram hypotenuse is r, adjacent side is x. And cosecant theta is defined as hypotenuse by opposite side. So hypotenuse is r, opposite side is y. If you observe these 6 trigonometric ratios carefully, then see here y by r is there, here r by y. Y by r and r by y are reciprocal to each other, that is these two are reciprocal to each other. Similarly here x by r, here r by x are there, these two are reciprocal to each other. And here y by x, here also here x by y is there, these two are reciprocal to each other. Okay, and one more thing we can observe it, here sin theta is equal to y by r and cos theta is here x by r. So now write the values of sin theta and cos theta, that is sin theta is equal to y by r and cos theta is equal to x by r. Now it looks like a complex fraction, because any fraction is having in the place of numerator and denominator, again it appears like numerator and denominators again having in their places one more fractions are called complex fractions. So it appears like this. So y by r into r by x, the result will be like this. Then r cancel out, then y by x. Okay, but y by x, if you observe carefully, y by x is equal to tan theta. That is, tan theta is also defined in another way, sin by cos, sin theta by cos theta. Okay, and cos theta by sin theta which equals, so cos theta is x by r by sin theta is y by r. Okay, then x by r into the reciprocal of y by r, that is r by y. Now r cancel out, then x by y. So now here in these 6 ratios, x by y is where it is here. So x by y is cot theta. X by y is here cot theta. Okay. tan theta can be written as sin theta by cos theta. Cot theta can be written as cos by sin. Similarly, sin theta can be written as sin theta is equal y by r is there. Y by r can be written as 1 by r by y. 1 by r by y. That is 1 by cosec theta. This is 1 by cosec theta. Similarly, we can write cos theta is equal to 1 by, where cos theta is written as x by r. I will write here. Cos theta is equal to x by r. This can be written as 1 by r by x. 1 by r by x. But r by x is equal to secant theta. That is secant theta. That is cos theta is equal to 1 by secant theta. Sin theta is equal to 1 by cosecant theta. Okay. And tan theta. See here, tan theta is equal to x by y is there. This can be written as 1 by y by x. 1 by y by x. But y by x represents here, tan theta is equal to here y by x. Y by x. That can be written as here x by y. So, but 1 by x by y means x by y is cot theta. That is tan theta is equal to 1 by cot theta. So, sin theta and cosecant theta are reciprocal to each other. Cos theta and secant theta are reciprocal to each other. Tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal to each other. Okay. That is, their product is 1. Their product is 1. Okay. I will write once again the reciprocals. Very clearly. Sin theta into cosecant theta is equal to 1. Cos theta into secant theta is equal to 1. Tan theta into cot theta is equal to 1. This you can write in different ways. That is, sin theta is equal to 1 by cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. 1 by sin theta. Here, cos theta into secant theta is equal to 1. Make cos theta as a subject, then cos theta is equal to 1 by secant theta. Implies secant theta is equal to 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta. Here, tan theta into cot theta is equal to 1. That is, they are reciprocal to each other. Similarly, here tan theta is equal to 1 by cot theta, or cot theta is equal to 1 by tan theta. 1 by tan theta. Okay. So this is the way we can define all 6 trigonometric ratios. All 6 trigonometric ratios. Sin theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. Cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. If you know these three, then sin is reciprocal to cosecant. Cosecant is reciprocal to sin. Cos is reciprocal to secant. And secant is reciprocal to cos. Tan is reciprocal to cot. Cot is reciprocal to tan. Okay. If you remember 3, then we can find out remaining 3 also. Okay. Next. And to measure the angles, in science we have MKS system, CGS system, FPS system. Like that, to measure the angle, we have here three different systems. To measure the angles, we have three different systems. Okay. One is sexagesimal system, and another one is centesimal system. The next one is radian measure or circular measure. Circular measure. Sexagesimal system, centesimal system, radian measure. Okay. So in sexagesimal system, for example, if you take ray OA is a fixed ray, and ray, let it be, this is ray OB. This ray OB make a complete rotation, then angle around at O is 360 degrees. Okay, 360 degrees. So of this 360 degrees, one part, that is 360 degrees, is divided into 360 equal parts. Okay, that is 1 by 360th part of a complete angle is known as degree. Is known as degree. Or we can define a right angle is divided into 90 equal parts. Then each part is called degree. Each part is called degree. Further, degree is divided into minutes. Degree is divided into minutes. Minutes can be represented by like this. And minute again divided into 60 equal parts, that is second. That is seconds can be represented by like this. Okay. So that is a right angle is divided into 90 equal parts. Each part is known as degree. So in centesimal system, a right angle is divided into 100 equal parts. 100 equal parts. So here each equal part is known as grade. Each equal part is known as grade, and it is denoted by like this. Here degree is denoted by like this. This is degree. This one is minute. This one is seconds. Okay. Here radian measure. So here listen carefully. O is the center of a circle. OA and OB are radius of a circle. AB is the arc. AB is the arc. Let X is the point on AB. Because AXB is here, the length of arc is there, half of the length of circle. Hence it is known as minor arc. And the remaining part is called major arc. AYB is a major arc, AXB is minor arc. So that's why I mentioned here X. Okay. Now we are taking AXB arc. AXB arc. Now angle made by arc AB at the center O is angle AOB. When we can say that angle made by an arc AXB at the center is 1 radian, means an angle made by an arc whose length is equal to radius of a circle, that is length of arc AXB is equal to radius of a circle, then angle at the center is 1 radian. So now the complete curved line, the length of curved line is known as perimeter of a circle. We know that the formula of a perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r, and length of arc here is equal to small r. Length of arc is equal to small r. Now I am going to find out the relation between degree and radian. Relation between degree and radian. Okay. That is, length of arc is r divided by perimeter of circle is 2 pi r. Okay, into 360 degrees. Okay. Now r cancel out. That is 280. 280. This is 1 radian. Okay, it can be written as 1 raised to the power c like this. Okay, 1 radian is written like this. 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi. This can be written as pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Pi radians is 180 degrees means 2 pi radians means 2 into 180 degrees, right? That is 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees, right? Pi radians is equal to 180 degrees in sexagesimal system. 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees in sexagesimal system. Remember it. Okay. That is, these are the 3 systems to measure the angle: sexagesimal system, centesimal system, and a radian system. That is, d by 90 is equal to z by 100 is equal to c by pi by 2. This is degrees. These are grades. This one is centesimal system, that is circular measure, c, pi by 2 radians. So this is the relationship between the 3 systems of measuring the angles. Okay, so it is most important and it is helpful in converting the angles from sexagesimal system to grades to radian measure. Okay, let me explain through examples. Okay, here first I will write again the relationship between sexagesimal, centesimal, and radian measure, pi by 2, right? That is, a 90 degrees is equal to, can I write 100 grades? 100 grades is equal to pi by 2 radians. Now, we know that if A is equal to B is equal to C, then we can write A is equal to B, B is equal to C, C is equal to C. Okay. If A is equal to B, B is equal to C, C is equal to A, then A is equal to B is equal to C is the transitive property. So, like this, 90 degrees is equal to 100 grades. 100 grades is equal to pi by 2 radians, and 90 degrees is equal to pi by 2 radians. Okay. While doing sums, we can use this kind of ways. For example, convert 45 degrees, it is in sexagesimal system. 45 degrees is in sexagesimal system. Convert 45 degrees into grades and circular measure. If they ask like this, then how you have to do? Look here, 45 degrees can be written as 45 into 1 degree. Okay, and we know the relation 90 degrees is equal to 100 grades. Then what will happen? 1 degree is equal to 100 by 90 grades. 100 by 90 grades, right? That is 45 into 1 grade is replaced by 1 degree. 1 degree is replaced by 100 by 90 grades. 100 by 90 grades. Now 45 ones are 45 twos are 2 ones and 2 50s. Then 45 degrees is equal to 50 grades. 45 degrees is equal to 50 grades. And suppose now 45 degrees we are going to convert into circular measure. That is 45 degrees is equal to 45 into 1 degree. First write like this. Then we know that 90 degrees is equal to pi by 2 radians. Pi by 2 radians. That is 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians. Okay. 90 degrees is equal to pi by 2 radians means from this if you transpose 90 to RHS part, then you get 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians. That is 45 degrees is equal to 45 into pi by 180 radians. Now 45 ones are 45 fours are. That is 45 degrees is equal to pi by 4 radians. See here, 45 degrees is equal to 50 grades. Okay, again 45 degrees we proved now pi by 4 radians. Is it 45 degrees is equal to 50 grades? 45 degrees is equal to pi by 4 radians. Okay, so once we check it, 50 grades convert into sexagesimal system. Now we are going to convert 50 grades into sexagesimal system. How we will convert? 50 grades is equal to 50 into 1 grade you write first. Then 1 grade here, 90 degrees is equal to 100 grades. Then what will happen? 90 by 100 is equal to 1 grade. Okay, so by using this one, 1 grade is replaced by 50 into, I think it is not visible here, I will write here, 50 into 90 by 100. 90 by 100. Okay, now 50 ones are 52s are 2 ones are 245. That is 45 degrees. See, 50 grades is equal to 45 degrees. Is it okay? So therefore (45 degrees in sexagesimal system equal to 50 grades in centesimal system and pi by 4 radians. Okay, 45 degrees is equal to 50 grades and 50 grades is equal to pi by 4 radians. Okay, remember it, don't forget it. Remember it for a long time. Okay. Next. So in algebra we have so many identities. Okay. Like a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b whole cubed, a minus b whole cubed, a cubed plus b cubed, a cubed minus b cubed, a plus b plus c whole square. Like that we have many identities. So in trigonometry also we have some identities. Okay. So initially we are going to prove that identities with the help of right triangle. With the help of right triangle. The first identity which is most important. So every identity is most important while solving the sums in this chapter. Okay. And so if you learn this identity, later you can convert sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta can be written as 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. Now, based on the situations, after analyzing the given sums, we have to use the formula in a such a way, right? So now I am going to prove this sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1 with the help of right triangle. So let us consider a triangle ABC in which angle ABC is equal to 90 degrees. Angle ABC is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. A, B, C. Angle in which angle ABC is 90. That is angle, right angle at vertex B. Right angle at vertex B. So everyone knows in a right triangle the longest side is hypotenuse. And from the properties of triangle, the side which is opposite to greater angle is longer side. Okay, that is it is known as hypotenuse is the longest side of the three sides in the given triangle. Okay, and angle at vertex C, let it be theta. That is angle between CB and CA. Then the side AB is opposite to theta. That is, it becomes opposite. Okay, and remaining side is adjacent side. This is known as adjacent side. First you fill the side which is opposite to 90 degrees is hypotenuse, and then wherever the marking is there or theta mentioned, okay, where AB is opposite to theta or marking place is called opposite side. In some sums they are not mentioned, they simply mark at any one of the vertex. Then you have to take this one as opposite side. Okay, opposite to this marking position or opposite to theta. Opposite to theta. Remember it. So from this right triangle, can I write sin theta is equal to sin theta we just defined opposite side by hypotenuse. Is it? Now opposite is equal to opposite side. Opposite means nothing but opposite side to theta. Okay, this adjacent side to theta, and this one is hypotenuse. So opposite side is here AB by hypotenuse is AC. Then write cos theta also. So cos theta also you know very well the ratio between adjacent side and hypotenuse. Okay, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is BC by hypotenuse is AC. Okay, adjacent side is AC. Okay, now write the LHS part in the given sin square theta plus cos square theta. Okay, now for example x square plus y square is there, so x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. So just to replace x by 2 and y by 3. That is method of substitution. That is 2 square plus 3 square. That is 4 plus 9 is equal to 13. X square plus y square is equal to 13. In this way, we have to replace here also. That is sin square theta means sin theta whole square. Cos square theta means cos theta whole square. Okay. That is value of sin theta from the right triangle ABC. That is AB by AC whole square. Cos theta is equal to BC by AC. Okay. That is square of AB side, square of AC side plus square of BC side by square of AC side. If you observe this expression, the denominators are the same. That is AC square. Okay. Then we can add their numerators. AB square plus BC square. AB square plus BC square. Since it is a right triangle, we can apply here Pythagorean theorem, and this is the most important theorem. I think it is coming from 8th class or 8th class also. So while finding the Pythagorean triplets. Okay. So once again I will explain the Pythagorean theorem. In a right triangle, the square of hypotenuse is equal to the sum of squares of two sides. Sum of the squares of other two sides. Other two sides. What are the other two sides? Perpendicular sides. What are the perpendicular sides? BA and BC. So in a right triangle, the square of hypotenuse is the sum of squares of perpendicular sides. Remember it. It's the most important. That is, can be written as AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Square of hypotenuse AC square is equal to sum of the squares of two perpendicular sides. What are the perpendicular sides? AB and BC. Okay. Now AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. But here in AB square plus BC square is there. Can I replace AB square plus BC square with AC square? Definitely. That is AC square by AC square. Now AC square and AC square cancel out. Then we get 1. Therefore, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Okay. Hence proved. This is the method of proof, which with the help of right triangle, the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. This identity we can express in different ways. That also I will explain. Let me explain here. So I hope that everybody is understood. Okay. So knowing the formulas and after knowing how to apply the formulas is the most important in mathematics. So even though you know every formula, okay, if you don't know where it is useful, then there is no use. Even you learned many formulae. Okay. So that's why now if you make here sin square theta as a subject, then you will get here 1 minus cos square theta. That is, if they give cos theta value, then we can find out sin square theta. This can be written as 1 whole square minus cos theta whole square. Now use it in the form of a square minus b square. Okay, that is 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. Is it? If you apply square root on both sides, what will happen? Square root of sine square theta is equal to square root of 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. That is sine theta is equal to root of 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. For example, next sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, in which if you make cos square as a subject, then you will see what will happen. Cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. Cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. That is, this also we can write as 1 square minus sine theta whole square. Again it is in the form of a square minus b square. It can be written as 1 plus sine theta and 1 minus sine theta. That is, cos square theta is equal to 1 plus sine theta into 1 minus sine theta. Now, by taking square root on both sides, what will happen? Cos square theta is equal to square root of 1 plus sine theta, 1 minus sine theta. Square will get cancelled. Then cos theta is equal to root of 1 plus sine theta and 1 minus sine theta. Like this, we can change the physical structure of the formula. Okay. So if you remember this sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, then we can, when we are going to find out sine theta, we can directly use sine theta is equal to root of 1 minus cos square theta. When they give cos value, if they give sine value, then we can find out cos theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. 1 minus sine square theta. Okay, this is the way to use the identities. Okay, not only learning, whatever the concepts, definitions, formulae, what you have learned, you must apply wherever it is useful to solve the sums. Okay, today I am going to end this class, and tomorrow the second identity, that is secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, that we will prove in the next class. Okay, bye students, bye, thank you, thanks for listening.